To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, Wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside. During the banquet, all attending guests heard. When the guests arrived at the scene, the guard's investigation did not recover any other. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion. Callus was defeated by These are the known...
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not... in truth, the third after that, the true... Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about... The testimony of the... However... This is... A pile up and... Realizing this, the
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial...
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide...
But I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was no...
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claim?
I'm afraid not. At least not at...
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become... And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live, or if they're I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if, coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, on top of that, does a person have to be physically present?
Oof. Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with, alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt? But if I were to dismiss, do you know what the biggest...
I suppose you're...
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, in addition, But the
I do apologize, demoiselle.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like to You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or ask my Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the
Seems like she got...
At this rate...
I think you've done us but aren't you going against all... He wished for you to be... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong...
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the people whose families were just many people's images. And whose image is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do...
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly see...
I was waiting for you to...
Time to go. I will have order.
Solidify!
Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
The wind knows me.
As one with wind and cloud.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Time to go.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Quietly now.
Into the wind.
This is order. Stabilize.
Busted. Here, attack.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
Now the path is clear. Let's go!
I will have order.
Gotcha.
The wind knows me.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Game's up. Fun's over. Busted.
Time to go! Though, as expected, the mastermind. That. Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have no... The old dog's he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the... I concur. Let's send some... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of... That means means this is where they make all the sin. If you dilute it with Paimon, we'll take notes. Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in progress. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but... Huh? You mean the girls from... And then... And all the boxes of things. These names... What's this over here? Looks like some experiment The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible and you read the rest? Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it? No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case... We've looked at almost everything here. Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to... That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able... Sure thing. You take that side. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's love? Then you found her diary. Aww. It's just... so many! A whole page's worth! But the final name she Marcel! Wait, but Marcel's pretty old.
And whose image do you... Is it a man named... Oh, so you...
I've merely surprised...
I was waiting...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my part...
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found... But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Vignere, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing... You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed...
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performance. And with that, Marcel's motive has...
This information regarding your past also did... Well, Marcel, you fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the... So, you never noticed how we changed...
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, they said there's no way well, now you know, don't you? Ha! You only have yourselves to blame. Vignere is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I did all of that. And in the end, I spent my entire life living on
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guard!
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! Vignere, please, Vignere.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of... During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from... However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and after exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vache decided to assassinate their president, Callus, at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vache. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vache is guilty.
Vache.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial
We really just witnessed his...
Yippee! He's hurt so many innocent Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absent.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come.
Yeah. It's... See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this...
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia, the guilty party, has been identified, and thus it is logical. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine
Huh? This has never happened before.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just—
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's—
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the guards. Please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been—
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at—
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this— Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, and, of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blind to everything he's done. Not to mention the danger he poses, all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her...
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just...
She probably just put on that performance to save face. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, well, after all, he's done plenty of...
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Ah! Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But the Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her...
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make...
Paimon agrees!
This request, is it worth as much to you as your...
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more...
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy... Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need...
In that case...
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even...
Vacher!
Ah!
Yes, that's it!
Vignere, it's me! It's me!
Vacher?
I'm here! Where are...
Hey, wait!
Vignere, is that you? It's me!
Vacher? Why did you come? You look alive.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered all this time. Only the thought of bringing you back. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought? Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how...
But Vacher, if you ask me, if not for you, I would have finished my... If not for you, I would have continued. If not for you, I would have... It's all because...
You... Wait, you are not...
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am the Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea. And we were I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Az. The only one I am not.
Why? But then...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time, but did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and the only thing you are not is from the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Bienvenidos, she has...
No! Yeah! She can't hate...
You still don't understand. When I said don't... But on top of that, she also said that because... She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to... Vache. Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner.
Even this weather can't put a damper on.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few...
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between... Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. This time, though, everyone in Poisson and...
So his name's definitely been...
It's been the dearest...
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte. Well, maybe it'd be...
Huh? So you know Charlotte...
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di I believe the story was called... To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an
Oh, yeah. She told us about that.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she...
Now that's another thing.
Oh, and in other news...
Oh, are you two on better...
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clorand gave testimony on my... It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to... Oh, actually, there's still one last thing
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And tell him that... And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to...
Sure thing. I'd like...
And in that case, everyone, let's be...
Yeah, you're right. This...
Huh? There's someone... Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to...
In that case, I will stop apologizing.
You really could use some pointers. In any case, why did you come to...
Well, there was once a time when I didn't want to believe that... Oh, rather than that, which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. But Mr. Callis proved, if not for his sacrifice, Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, for a justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for...
So, you're actually...
Sorry about that.
Didn't I just say...
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem... Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave. Huh? Oh no. Paimon... Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we...